All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to start off by saying that this is very intimidating. I've never spoke in front of such a large congregation, so bear with me. But also, my name is Ralvell Rogers II, as he said. I'm a student from Emporia State University. Yeah, that's right. Hornets, Stingers up, that's right, yeah. But I'm a second-year student there. I graduated from Rockhurst High School, and so that's just a little bit of background. I jumped at the opportunity. I want to thank Mr. Ali. I don't know where he is now, but I want to thank Mr. Ali Robinson. Yes. Yes, I want to thank Mr. Ali Robinson and everyone else who put all of these events on, because it's truly amazing how all of this stuff has come together and how we've all managed to keep Dr. King's words in our minds. So I want to thank everyone who got this all together, and I want to thank Mr. Ali for giving me the opportunity. And so let's jump right into it. We are gathered here today in commemoration of arguably the most important civil rights leader of the 20th century, a man who had a dream of nonviolence and racial equality, a man who was a husband, a father, and a victim to countless racist acts throughout his entire life, such as segregation, physical and verbal abuse, and his ultimate assassination. We are here to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on his day of birth and to reflect upon his world-renowned teachings and ideologies. But let's not get the game twisted. We are here today because America must adhere to all of the teachings that Dr. Martin Luther King has presented to us when he was alive. And this is something that I can attest to myself right now at the age of 19. In fact, if you were to approach me about 6 or so years ago, I could have expressed to you the countless times in which I felt that I was being verbally beat down by racist comments or put in a bubble by racial stereotypes. And that would have been coming from a youth who was only 13. As a young adult in our modern age, I can't help but to notice how funny and sarcastic people of this world are making these controversial racial issues to be. I see all these memes and all of these things, and it's like we make it funny when it's not really a joke.
That's right.
And I feel that as a black man, as an African American man in America, my value is not being taken into account on a day-to-day basis. We must help the world understand what the true meaning of black skin truly is. We must redefine those preconceived notions that are not just happening in the minds of colored folks, but in people who aren't colored as well. And I know that that's something that's really important for me because I have been approached by people of color and people who aren't of color. I've been approached by my own family members who have been like, you talk so proper. Yeah, I was like, just talk like me. I didn't know that I was supposed to talk a certain way just because of the color of my skin,
Yeah.
Talk
how you talk.
Right.
Talk how you talk.
I've even been approached by, people who aren't of color, which is quite laughable because they try to tell me that they're blacker than I am. Now, what does that mean? Is my skin not enough?
Oh! Is my skin not enough?
Is my skin not enough?
Oh!
And, we also must understand that as the years have passed, these racial issues have went from physical beatdowns to psychological warfare. And it's being pegged against people of darker complexion on all levels. So basically, if you're black and you're in America, you are more susceptible to being gunned down by another human being than anyone else in America. And you are more likely to be psychologically abused, which can sometimes lead to many different mental illnesses. And I know I see that in the media. We are being hardwired, and it's like it's systematic, it's institutionalized. We're being hardwired to hate ourselves. And it's time to really acknowledge that. Because the best way to fight it is to first know what we're fighting. So now, I know hearing all of this may make you feel helpless as an African American in the U.S., but the hope that you may be seeking lies within yourself, most importantly, and many who have come before you, such as Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. The life of Dr. King is a perfect example to follow as a black youth in America because, and really as a human being in America, because he lived a very impressive life that was full of hard work, intellect, empathy, and most importantly, love. He managed to graduate from high school at the mere age of 15 through his dedication to learning, and despite the many trials and tribulations that met him on his road to peace and equality, Dr. King was resilient. He never stopped, not once. Not even jail could stop the man, because even while he was wrongfully incarcerated, he wrote the letter to the Birmingham jail, which is a manifesto of the Negro Revolution. Assassinating him seemed to be the only possible solution for white racists to get rid of him. But in the end, that didn't even do anything. Because his words, Dr. King's words, his words lived on in the American people just as they should. Okay, I got you. If he were alive today, I'm sure Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would be celebrating his birthday with his family and his close friends, but he would also be proud to see all of the supporters of nonviolence and racial equality falling behind in his footsteps. Knowing the racial issues that are plaguing this country in our modern age by my own personal experience, and based on Dr. King's many speeches, biographies, and autobiographies, I know that he would still be striving for what mattered most to him, his dream. Thank you very much.